Welcome. Today we're learning to make a tree. First you need a ball. Then you need to form that ball into a dome. Just a circular dome. That's it. The most important part is just to make sure the dome is completely smooth. There's no features on the surface in which you not want later on in the process when there's layers of clay and texture that you eventually build on. Right here, I'm just grabbing a piece of clay and rolling it into a coil and using my sculpting utensil as almost like a hole punch to make that cylinder. The important part is to make sure the outside and the inside of the form is completely smooth, so there is no cracks forming within the form itself when fired. Just a lot of smoothing. Just make sure the form is completely smooth. The less imperfections, the more likely it's going to survive the firing. Next, you need a flat piece of clay. As you can see here, I used the brick. You can use pretty much anything to smooth clay down as long as it's smooth. After flattening your slab to about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, we're going to use this slab as the base of the clay structure or vessel. As you can see, I'm almost pressing the clay against the base, so it has that connection with the previous vessel we built, or the previous shape. So make sure you do that. That's actually extremely important. As you can see, you need a hole on top of the vessel. I actually use one of my sculpting utensils as almost the structure of the trunk of the tree. You're just forming small coils and building on top of those coils and smoothing the surface down as you go. I usually don't go too high because I built these objects in different sections, so it would be unwise to build a structure in which the clay disperses or gets smaller extremely quickly. That'll just cause cracks later on in the drying process. Now I'm applying texture. As you can see, this creates almost like a felt or moss-like texture, in which I really like. And it really complements the flat shapes or like the smooth surfaces of the tree texture, in which I'm gonna build later on. I'm also now rolling tiny coils to then attach to the original trunk of the tree, and be sure not to make the width of the coils too narrow too quickly, so the branches should almost flow, and you'll see later on what I mean as I build more of them. And here you can see me wrapping up. I'm trying to get crisp lines in, like the transition between tree trunk and the heart, to me, is like the most defined plane shift, so that's really important to make sure it's a separation between those two things or those two objects. And here you go.